Welcome to the Hounds for Life podcast show. I'm as always your host Maya, and I'm here with my lovely co-host Claire today.
Thank you very much. My name is Claire. I am currently one of the volunteers for Hounds for Life. I'm just over from England for a couple of years and just spend my days playing with dogs basically. So I'm living the dream. So it's great.
Welcome back to our recurring viewers. Thank you so much for coming back to our show. We love your support and a very warm welcome to the new viewers. This show is about the life of an ex-racing retired greyhound in New Zealand. And it's full of chit-chat about our lovely greyhounds, how awesome they are as pets, and we also feature expert interviews and how-to segments. So there's lots of edutainment that you can expect from the show. If you like the show, please subscribe to the channel. This is the most important thing you can do to support us. And like and comment. We are happy to have your comments and we love to answer them. On top of everything, enjoy. So since our last show, episode 13, we had 13 dogs at Hounds for Life Kennels, and we have rehomed 9 of them.
So that means that there's 4 currently up for adoption. 4 wonderful dogs that I get to see every day. Who should I talk about first? Let's talk about Mike first. So Mike is a beautiful boy, very, very handsome. He is extremely confident, loves toys, loves playing, loves running, loves people, obviously, and loves his food. He's a great boy. I think he'd make a great addition to any kind of household. I think he'd like to be the only dog, but no, he's a great boy. Next we have Anna, who is a really sweet girl. She's a little bit nervous right now, but we're working with her to grow her confidence, and I think in time she's gonna be a wonderful dog. Once she bonds with you, the bond is wonderful, and she's so loving and so loyal and playful. Like, it's starting to come out now. She's getting more and more comfortable, so she's starting to play and run around a lot. So she's going to be a great pet for someone as well.
And does she not have the cutest face ever?
She's a very sweet little face. Oh, she'll get away with murder in her home, I think. I think she'll be spoiled rotten, that one. We also have handsome Tane with us at the moment. He's an extremely playful boy, loves splashing around at the beach, very, very playful, very loving, but yeah, extremely loving, very gentle boy, and he would be a wonderful addition to any home. We've also got Tracker. Tracker is a new dog, so I don't know that much about her at the moment, but I've been told that she's very, very gentle and she's absolutely beautiful. So
shall we start with the show now?
I think it's about time, yeah.
This is episode 14 and the title is
Silke the Foster Failure and Greyhound Healthchecks.
Little darling, it's been a long, long racing season. Little darling, it's time to rest and find a home. Here comes the hounds, didn't you know? Here comes the hounds, and I say it's for life. Hounds for life. Hounds for life.
Upcoming our next segment is an interview with Chrissy and Silke. Chrissy is our foster mom in Nelson, which is about a 2 hours drive from our Hounds for Life kennels. And she has volunteered last year to take fosters for us, like one foster at a time, and show them the ropes, how to adjust for living in a household, which makes it much easier to rehome the dogs. Not that we have a problem, the dogs are going like hot buns.
Cakes, yeah.
Cakes. But it's always nice to have fosters, and they also enjoy that so much.
Yeah.
Now, so she took Silke on about a year ago. Now guess what has happened?
What?
She's still there.
Classic.
Yeah. So we call that a foster failure. And Chrissy is sharing her foster journey and how it came to this failure in the next segment. So enjoy.
Hi, my name is Chrissy. I live in Nelson at the top of the South Island, and I now have Silke. I was only ever going to foster a greyhound, and I contacted Maya at Hounds for Life just after lockdown. So after that, we organised Silky to come and live with me as a foster dog, and I was going to foster dogs after that and had no idea I'd be able to keep a dog of my own. And 8 months later, I still have Silky. I fell in love with her and couldn't part with her, and we've become the best of mates, haven't we, Silky? And she just works in with my life. I never realised how well a greyhound could work in with your life, especially with my sort of job and as an area manager. And yeah, she's quite happy at home while I'm at work. Sometimes she comes to work with me, don't you, Silky, in the early mornings before it gets too hot, and she just sleeps in the car. So when I knew I was getting Silky in about another 10 days, I was very excited. And I thought, oh, what have I got for the dog to sleep on? What have I got? What do I need? So I got a nice bowl and drinking bowl, and then I thought, oh, now her bed. Now I'm not sure what size of bed to get for this greyhound, because I know she's fairly large. So I ended up getting a cot mattress from the recycle centre, and she's got a lovely warm blanket on there, and she's got pillows, and she lies there like she is just the queen. She thinks she's the queen. Then after that I decided we should go and get another one. So back to the recycle centre and another cot mattress and more blankets, and she has one set up in my bedroom as well for night time. So as you can see, the Queen has moved in and taken over my heart and my house. And yes, my no regrets getting Silky, and I'm considering fostering another one soon, because I think Silky will be a good example, a good leader for a young one. She's very chilled out. No regrets at all. So the 8 months has gone very quickly. We now live down in Tahunanui, not far from the beach, and we spend quite a bit of time on the beach now. I've decided to be brave and let her off lead and let her go on the beach. I felt she was more connected to me by this time, and that she would not disappear up to the end of the earth when she got let off the lead. So now, and to my surprise, she'd done the most amazing zoomies, showing off to me, look what I can do, and showing off to the other dogs. Weren't you, Silky? Saying, oh, you can run, I'll show you how to run. She's going. I used to do this for a job, she was saying. So, yeah, so now we go down the beach. I take her down on the lead. I take her a little bit away from where the car park is, and I just let her go. She has a sniff, and then she looks up at me and goes, I'll show you how to do this. So off she goes, and after that she just says, I'm done, let's go home. So considering fostering another dog, I'm very keen to do that. But I'm just going to try and make sure this time it's not a foster failure, because I need to keep fostering greyhounds because I love them so much, but I don't think the house is large enough to keep failing and end up with dozens of foster greyhounds being adopted by me. Thank you for having me on the Hounds for Life podcast show. And good luck, all you foster carers out there, and keep up the good work.
So if you want to foster a greyhound in your local area, please get in touch with the local rehoming agencies. They love to have private homes, foster homes. And just as a matter of update, Chrissy now has a foster together with Silky Tane, and she loves him, but she is absolutely willing to find a lovely home for Tane.
Coming up in this next segment now, we've got an interview with Kelly. She is a Greyhound specialist vet, and she's going to be showing you how she does a health check on a recently retired racing greyhound before he's ready to go into his home. She's also going to be showing you how you can perform your own health check at home on your greyhound if you've got any kind of concerns. And her glamorous assistant for this task will be a lovely boy called George. Enjoy.
Hey, my name's Kelly McDermott. I've been a veterinarian for 8 years now, graduated from Massey University at the end of 2011. So today I'm going to show you how, as a vet, I would do a health check on a retired racing greyhound, as well how you can do some stuff at home to examine your potential pet that you either are going to adopt or already do own. So today we've got Rachel's here with George. George is a 4-year-old who hasn't actually raced, but that's okay. So from a vet perspective, the first thing I do is I tend to look at them from a distance. As they walk into the exam room, I want to know, how are they moving? Is there any obvious limping or lameness? And what's their overall body condition like? When they're just fresh off the track, they tend to be really, really well muscled and on the leaner side of things, because they spend all day racing. George here is not quite as muscled as some of the ex-racers, but that's okay. That's because he's got a good loving home. So what I tend to do is I start with their face. Greyhounds often have some teeth problems. So the thing that you can do is you just lift up their lips and just have a look all the way back here at the molars as well. And we're going to look at both sides. And what I'm looking for is there tartar, is there plaque, or any obvious broken, chipped teeth that need to be taken care of. The next stage is to look in their eyes. And there's more in-depth eye exams and checks that we can do, but as a basic, I just want to know, have they got any pigment changes, cloudiness, anything that looks like it could be irritating them, particularly eyelids rolling in and things. The next part is their ears. So I often will, believe it or not, smell them, and that's checking for ear infections. As well, how do they look? You know, is there a bunch of debris, dirt? Are they red or irritated in any way? While I'm up here, I also tend to feel their lymph nodes. So there's a few commonly or easy to feel lymph nodes that we can deal with, and that's under here, which is your submandibular lymph nodes, and that's a sign, if they're really enlarged, either of infection or potentially cancer. So working my way down the dog's body, again, just feeling for the lymph nodes, and then another easy one is their patellar lymph node. The next thing I'm going to do is just feel their belly, so nice and soft. Greyhounds can sometimes be predisposed to bloat or GDV, and that's where the stomach twists over. So it's really important to make sure that we feed them on a regular basis and try to minimize exercise within an hour before or after eating. And if your dog is showing signs of abdominal discomfort, particularly after eating, don't hesitate, contact the vet right away. The other part I'm going to do is listen to their heart. Greyhounds sometimes do have a different heartbeat, and they can develop some changes in their heart because it is a little bit larger. So it's really important to have a listen. And you know, if you get a result back at the vet clinic that you're not so sure about, ask for a second opinion or even go see a cardiologist, because it is really important that we look after their hearts. Good. George's heart is fantastic, so not a problem there. Another really important thing, and something also to pay attention to at home, is what do their feet look like, particularly off of a race course. Sometimes they can have pretty shredded nails. Sometimes they also have nail issues where they just don't grow quite properly. The other thing is underneath, checking out their paw pads, looking for any areas of soreness, any irritation within the toe pads, or in between the toes, I should say. And is there any areas that are sore, either to touch or palpate? Another thing that I'll often do, particularly if I'm worried about lameness, is what I call range of motion. So I'm wanting to know how far can they flex and bend each individual joint, and is there any pain associated with any of this? Sorry, sweetheart. That was actually I caught his skin a little bit, so sorry about that. Other thing about greyhounds is they can be a little bit dramatic about things sometimes. So Just because they scream doesn't mean that they're actually hurt. Sometimes they just get a fright. Good boy, George. The other thing that we'll usually commonly do is take a temperature, and that's just to make sure that they don't have a fever or any other issues, particularly at the time of vaccination, or if they've come in because they've got vomiting, diarrhea, any other major concern. So from an owner's perspective, the main thing that as a veterinarian we're going to ask you, we want you to pay attention to, is how much your dog is eating. Is it the same, less? Are they being a bit funny? Are they chewing differently? Anything like that that can kind of help us narrow down what's going on for your pet. Also their water consumption, really, really important. Are they drinking? Again, same, more or less, because there's certain diseases where they will naturally drink significantly more water. And of course, as a veterinarian, we don't know that. So if you can pick up on that at home, it's really, really helpful. Toileting is the other thing. What do their bowel movements look like? Of course, you don't have to follow them out every single time, but if you can give us a general idea, you know, are they firm? Are they black, like melena? Or are they normal consistency, shape, etc.? How much are they urinating? And are they peeing constantly or one big pee? All these little details can make a big difference. As far as checking over your dog at home, probably the most important thing to pay attention to is those things that we've discussed. So they're, you know, eating, drinking, toileting, but also their behavior. You know, is there any changes? Have you noticed that they're becoming anxious at certain times? As far as the overall looking at them, are they limping? Have they changed their body condition? And this is where friends and families can be of help, because sometimes you actually don't notice that they've dropped weight. So your family members, if they come over and they haven't seen George for a month and they go, wow, he's looking really skinny, don't just dismiss that. Pay attention to that. Take him into the vet clinic, get him weighed, because there's things that can cause them to lose weight, and if you're with them all the time, you may not notice. But one of the other things that you can do at home is just check their teeth regularly. So lift up their gums. You should be able to see all of their teeth, including these back molars. And the other thing is their gum color. That's another question we'll ask you sometimes on the phone, particularly in an emergency situation. Is their gum pink or is it white? And what's their capillary refill time? This indicates their blood pressure. Have they got anemia or any other sort of disease which is causing them to have shock, which can be pale or even bright red gums. If they're beautiful and pink like George's, that's perfect. That's what you want.
The upcoming segment, you can see our Greyhound expert trainer Rachel from Nightrave Greyhound again, how she is doing a recall training with a gorgeous Henry. And of course, to be expected, she managed to give us a perfect recall with Henry. So don't be frustrated when you start to do recall training with your Greyhound at first. That could be look a little bit different.
A little bit.
But you will get there.
You will be. Get patient.
So a recall is a really important thing to have with your Greyhound. Even though we and most adoption agencies don't recommend off-leashing your Greyhound because they can run so fast, it is still important to train your Greyhound to come back when he's called, just in case anything happens. Now, it's a good idea to start on a long line so that you have control of your Greyhound. It's also a really good idea to start in small spaces and confined spaces. Don't go to a beach and let your Greyhound go and discover that you don't have recall. That won't be fun, and it might end up with your Greyhound becoming seriously injured, because if he can get away and get near a vehicle, bad things can happen, and nobody wants that. So always, always, always reward your Greyhound for coming to you. Even if you have previously been chasing him around for 10 minutes because you couldn't catch him. Always, always, always reward your Greyhound for coming. That goes for any dog. When your Greyhound comes to you, give him whatever his favourite reward is, be that food or a toy or cuddles or all of the above. Don't ever growl at your Greyhound or run after him and get hold of him and growl at him and tell him he's been bad, because that will teach him that if he is loose, coming to you is a bad idea. That is something you do not want. You want to teach your Greyhound that if you are reaching out for him, there is something in it for him, he should come to you. That if you are calling him, that's the best thing in the world and he should come to you. Okay, so always, always, always reward your Greyhound. Start in small spaces. Start on a long line so that you can make your greyhound come and then reward him when he does. We don't generally use the clicker for recall except at the very, very beginning. At the very beginning, when we're teaching our greyhound to respond to his name when we call it, we're going to use the clicker. But once he's actually coming any distance, and by any distance I mean above a couple of meters, then you're not going to really achieve anything by adding the clicker in. Then eventually you will have a greyhound who will always come when he's called, and depending on how he is around other animals, and it doesn't really mean whether he's got a high prey drive or not, it means how rude he is, how understanding he is of other animals' space, how understanding he is of his own space. You may have a greyhound that you can off leash on the beach or in other places. A greyhound runs at 70 kilometres an hour. Even a small greyhound bitch is a big dog. If your greyhound is running at 70 kilometres an hour and is not good at managing his own space and not good at understanding how much space other animals need, he is going to run into that space at 70 kilometres an hour, possibly bowl over another dog, possibly run into something himself, and you may have an injured greyhound or a frightened pet of somebody else's, and that's going to be a problem that you have to deal with. So that is not worth it, but you must still work on recall with your greyhound. Henry! Yay! Good man! Henry! Good dog! Good dog! Come on! Henry! 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 Come on! Phoenix! Good boy! Good boy! Tell me you got that one!
Next up we have Martin, who is one of our volunteers at Hounds for Life, and he's going to be introducing you to Sophie, our foster of the week.
Hi, my name is Martin. I'm volunteering here at Hounds for Life. This is Sophie. She is 4 years old and she's really friendly. She likes to play with the toys and she is well behaved as well. She's a beautiful dog and she's ready for adoption. She will be a great pet for somebody, I think.
Little darling, it's been a long, long racing season. Little darling, it's time to rest and find a home. Here comes the hounds, didn't you know? Here comes the hounds, and I say it's for life. Hounds for life. Hounds for life.
So that was a video of the wonderful Sophie, who now actually has a home. It didn't take her long to be snapped up by a lovely family. So she's no longer available, but do still get in touch with us about our other dogs that we have up for adoption.
We hope you have enjoyed our show and we love to see you again. Please consider to subscribe if you enjoy our shows and our expert segments, and put the thumbs up, and please also comment on anything you have seen. We definitely come back to you on that. And until we see you again, we say
Bye-bye.
bye.
Thank you.